Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai. Cantate con noi. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai, Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Jai. Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Lahiri Mahasaya Jai Guru
Buonasera a tutti. Prima di cominciare questa speciale cosmica serata, voglio essere sicura che tutti di voi che non capite l'inglese avete della traduzione, perché questo programma sarà tutto in inglese. Se c'è qualcuno che ancora non ha preso, per favore andate lì da Veronica e lei ci darà una. Yes. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this cosmic, magical evening. This program will be in English, so if you don't understand English, just please make sure to take one of those translations devices to make sure you don't miss anything of what is going to be shared. Before anything, I would like to bow to my partner.
Prima di iniziare vorrei inchinarci al nostro guru Lahiri Mahasaya nel nome di tutti e chiedere le sue benedizioni durante tutta questa serata, così che possiamo essere toccati dalla sua coscienza e dalla sua grazia. Benvenuti a tutti, anche a quelli online. Siamo così contenti che anche voi potete essere parte di questa serata. Chi è qui ad Ananda per la prima volta? E oggi stiamo celebrando il nostro paramguru Lahiri Mahasaya, che ha lasciato il corpo coscientemente. Lui è stato il guru di Swami Shri 𝗚HP e per questo Paramguru del nostro maestro Paramhansa Yogananda. E oggi siamo qui a celebrare la sua vita, ma non solamente la sua vita, ma la ragione per cui è venuto, che cosa ha fatto, che cosa ha lasciato dietro di sé. Abbiamo la grande benedizione di avere con noi tre incredibili speaker, Mahasamadhi e Nirmala, che sono della nostra comunità di Ananda Sacramento, e sono qui con la nostra famiglia di Sacramento, con un gruppo di 20 gurupai e amici di Ananda Sacramento, e anche sentiremo parlare Mahasamadhi, che è la direttrice spirituale di Ogni anima, quando nasce, ha una ragione molto particolare per essere nata, e ogni anima sa la ragione divina per cui si è incarnata. Siamo tutti nati e tutti quanti recitiamo e facciamo delle azioni particolari e siamo tutti parte della creazione divina, perché abbiamo un ruolo da svolgere in questa creazione. E anche quando moriamo, ognuno di noi lascia qualcosa dietro di sé, grande o piccolo, come un lascito per gli altri, qualcosa di cui pensare, qualcosa di cui parlare. E quando questo processo è riferito a un avatar, a un maestro liberato, lo stesso processo che passa ogni anima diventa amplificato. È ingandito al massimo questo processo. Ognuno di noi è nato perché siamo legati.
For our karma. But an avatar, a self-realized master, chooses to be born, and he is fully aware of the purpose of his mission, the mission in itself. Everything that he does is conscious, and he knows exactly, he chooses the legacy he's going to leave behind. And tonight, we are going to explore that journey of Lahiri Mahasaya, why he came, what he did, and what legacy he left behind. And I would like to invite Swami Nirmala to start with this evening. Have a very blessed evening.
Good evening, everyone. Please forgive my laryngitis. I'm just getting over a cold. My part tonight is to discuss why Lahiri Mahasaya came into this world. And I would like to use some words of Swami Kriyananda and of Yogananda telling this story. I have read that it takes a spiritual seeker 10,000 hours of hearing the teachings before they sink in. And I've often thought, I wonder how many hours I've clocked on the Festival of Light so far. We spent years in Seattle playing the festival every Sunday. And before that at Ananda Village. And in Sacramento, every Sunday we do the Festival of Light. And I remember when Swami had the inspiration for the Festival of Light, and it came in a flood of inspiration. It was just writing itself. It was what was trying to happen. And as he was writing, suddenly it came to him, a little bird flew out into the world. So he went, wait, a little bird? That can't be right. Am I getting that inspiration right? And he was surprised by that little bird. But then he thought, what does God want? And so he relaxed into that flow. And we have the beautiful allegory of the little bird, the soul. I've often thought that that beautiful festival, it's more than a ceremony. When you absorb it as a guided meditation, when you study it, it answers all the deep questions of life. Where our line of gurus came from, what the purpose of life is, how to achieve that goal, everything is in the Festival of Light. It's really a gift. And Swami wanted us to do it every week. I don't think he knew about that 10,000 hours, but he wanted us to know the central core of our path and hear it over and over. So you can close your eyes if you want to, but I'm going to recite a passage of the Festival of Light that helps explain what Lahiri Mahasaya's purpose was, why he came into this world. High in the Himalayas, eyes filled with divine love, Jesus appeared to the great master, Babaji. The lights on the high altar of my church, he said, have been growing dim, though still lit on lower altars of good works. The noble taper of inner communion with the Lord burns low and is ill-attended. Let us together, united in Christ's love, set lights ablaze on that high altar once again. Thus a new ray of light was sent to earth through this line, through our line of masters. So here we see the purpose, the destiny of our line of gurus, to set ablaze on that high altar of inner communion, the noble taper that has been missing, that we've gotten away from. We've, as humanity, we've gone towards the more superficial, the more outward manifestations of religion and spirituality. But inner communion is the key. Inner communion is where the bliss is. So Babaji says to Lahiri Mahasaya, the cries of many bewildered men and women have not fallen unheard on the ears of the great ones. And so we see that out of compassion, God through Christ and Babaji designed this path. Lahiri Mahasaya, for the first 33 years of his life, did not know he was an avatar of yoga. He was a family man. He was a very devout and high-minded man. I remember reading about how the inheritance of the family property was a mess. There were lawsuits. There was just disharmony. And rather than have a lawsuit, Lahiri left, gave it to his other family members, and took a big step down in materialism by having his own very small house, which he rented for a long time. Through the frugality of his wife, he managed to own a house later on, but he wouldn't stoop to that sort of dishonor, really, to fight with people like that. He's a very high-minded soul, but still, he was 33 years old before he received that magnetic touch of Babaji that awakened him. And he fell at Babaji's feet, my guru. But he had what Yogananda calls modest business responsibilities. He was married. I think he had children already by that time. And his role, this was all designed by God. That veil was over his mind ever so slightly, so that he went ahead and went through these worldly actions so that all of us would have a model for a householder yogi. Master, in describing him, said, as a householder, Lahiri was chosen to guide those with family ties and to see that the highest yogic achievements are not barred to the family man or woman. Babaji said, after Lahiri had been in this glorious incarnation of being Babaji's disciple, he was meeting Babaji near the cave where he spent many years in sadhana. Babaji, you must reread this passage where he's saying, I have kept your sadhana blanket ready for you. Your cup is brightly polished, awaiting the day when you would come back to me. And Lahiri says, where has there ever been such deathless love? And that deathless love is not just for Lahiri. He gave it to all of us. That's the love of the Guru that will never cease. Babaji said to him, after that incarnation, you lost sight of me, but I never lost sight of you. I followed you like a mother bird guarding her young. And so, when we think of why Lahiri Mahasaya came, he came for me, and he came for you. And he gave us the magic cosmic key of Kriya Yoga to awaken our souls, to lift that veil, just as the veil was lifted from Lahiri's mind, to lift that veil and awaken from this suffering. Lahiri was given that magic key by Babaji, and what did he do with it? Did he keep it for himself? No. He said, angelic Guru, please relax the restrictions on giving Kriya, because Babaji had said, give Kriya to qualified disciples of complete renunciation. And Lahiri said, angelic Guru, please relax these requirements. Allow me to give Kriya to all sincere seekers. And I love this passage too. Relax your requirements so that I may give it to all sincere seekers. The tortured men and women of the world need special encouragement. Here we are, bewildered, tortured men and women of the world, but we have the great gift of Kriya Yoga. All we have to do is practice it. All we have to do is give it our hearts. And Babaji replied to that request by Lahiri saying, be it so. The divine wish has expressed itself through you. So it's because of Lahiri Mahasaya that we are here, that Ananda exists, that we have this beautiful community and a community of communities all over the world. It's through that deathless love that we've been given this miracle.
Allora, il prossimo canto è su pagina 24, page 24.
Night has flown, dawn has come. Wake, my children, wake. Wake, my children, wake. Sitting in the asana of meditation. Sitting in the asana of meditation. Thinking of a guru's lotus feet. Thinking of a guru's lotus feet. The sky has glowed, dawn has come. Wake, my children, wake. Wake, my children, wake. Sitting in the asana of meditation. Sitting in the asana of meditation. Thinking of the guru's lotus feet. Thinking of the guru's lotus feet. Night has flown, dawn has come. Wake, my children, wake. Wake, my children, wake. Sitting in the asana of meditation. Sitting in the asana of meditation. Thinking of the guru's lotus feet. Thinking of the guru's lotus feet. Night has flown, dawn has come. Wake, my children, wake. Wake, my children, wake. Sitting in the asana of meditation. Sitting in the asana of meditation. Thinking of the guru's lotus feet. Thinking of the guru's lotus feet. L'alba è qui, sorgerì. Svegliati il vivere. Svegliati il vivere. Ora andate a meditare. Ora andate a meditare. Il Guru sta chiamando qui nel cuore. Il Guru sta chiamando qui nel cuore. Alba è qui, sorgerì. Svegliati Wake, my children, wake. Wake, my children, wake. Sitting in the asana of meditation. Sitting in the asana of meditation. Thinking at the Guru's lotus feet. 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 Thinking at the Guru's lotus feet.
Speak a little bit about the role that Lahiri played and what he did in this incarnation, following on what Nirmala said about why he came to help us attune to Kriya Yoga, to practice Kriya Yoga. And one of the things that Lahiri did is help to usher the world into Dwapara Yuga, helped to bring us into the consciousness of Dwapara Yuga. And for those for whom this is a new term, I'll just explain it briefly. Yugas are cycles of time, great cycles of time, great epics. The Bronze Era, the Iron Age, the Bronze Age, the Silver Age, the Golden Age, those kinds of things back through history. And they refer to awareness that people have. And in the Golden Age, people are very enlightened. People are very aware of spirituality. And in the Dark Age, people are very unaware of that. And we've just come out of the Dark Age, Kali Yuga as it's called in India, and the dawn of Dwapara Yuga was happening as Lahiri Mahasaya came into this incarnation. And so he helped to break down. Kali Yuga is an age of form, an age of this versus that, this against that, black or white, and nothing in between. And he helped us to understand that this is not the destiny of Dwapara Yuga consciousness. In Kali Yuga, we are bound to form. In Dwapara Yuga, we learn the flow of energy. And so he helped break down barriers of caste and divisions of consciousness related to religion. He trained people of many religions in the art and science and practice of Kriya Yoga. And that was somewhat controversial for him as a high caste Brahmin to relate to people of other religions was not common, it was not well accepted, but he did it anyway because it was needed. He helped us to understand that religion is relevant to people culturally and to help them grow spiritually, but spirituality is not dependent on religion. And so he helped emphasize that spirituality, and he gave us a practical relationship with spirituality through yoga, Kriya Yoga, a specific practice that helps us to dive into the inner awareness of spirit. And he gave that freely to all sincere seekers, as Nirmala was sharing beautifully, the tortured men and women. Anybody ever feel tortured by life, by trying to understand? We had the blessing of helping Swamiji found Ananda, India, 20 odd years ago. And we taught all around the country. And I cannot begin to tell you how many people came to me. And even today, even in this day and age, this attitude persists to some extent. Someone would come to me and he would look down and he would say, well, I'm a householder. As if to say, I'm really sorry to tell you this, but I'm a householder. I have a family, I have a job, I have responsibilities. And the implication was, therefore, I can't be spiritual. I can't do this, I can't realize God. And every time someone would say this, I would say, stop, don't go there. That's not the point. It's not whether you're a householder, whether you're single, whether you're wearing blue or ochre or whatever color you wear. It's not about that. It's about what you do inside. It's about the goal of your life and how you dream of achieving it. And Kriya gave us a key to practice that. And so Lahiri set the stage in so many ways for this. He said, it's not about what you believe, it's about what you do. We have had the blessing in this past week or two to travel around many wonderful shrines in Italy and to see these incredible places and to experience the vibration of these saints, Saint Francis, Saint Joseph of Cupertino, Saint Santa Chiara. It's incredible. But there is this tendency to think, oh, aren't they wonderful? Weren't they incredible people? And then there's this little pause, and I just kept thinking, well, it's not enough to think how incredible they were. Lahiri's example was to show us, what can we do? How can we follow? There were a number of religious ceremonies going on in the different churches that we were in at various times. And the priest would say something and the people would respond, and the priest would say something and the people would respond. And it was beautiful in its way, it was lovely. But I thought, it's not enough. It's not enough to just repeat something. It has to touch our hearts and ignite a fire. Lahiri came to set a fire. He lit little fires in all these people. He did something else that was interesting. He did not want an organization founded in his name, and he wouldn't allow it during his lifetime. And so naturally people have understood that to mean that no organization should ever be formed about anything. But what he was saying is, it's too new. The age of energy, you have to start the flow. You have to get the flow going and see where it's leading, and then you can guide it, and then organizations can come up. But he didn't want something attached to his name. It wasn't his role to play. In this regard, he gave us a beautiful example of what Swamiji wrote a book about, supportive leadership. So for example, one of the things that he did is Lahiri wrote commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita. But he didn't do it with his own pen and his own hand. He did it through the disciples who were with him. And they would speak, and the words would be recorded. And some of them spoke beautifully, and others less so perhaps, but all in all, it came to be a very helpful commentary. And it was all done by attunement with Lahiri. They were speaking in attunement with him. In a sense, it was him writing that through them. And we can think of that as a model for what else he did, which was train 𝗚ൃ Yukteswar, who trained Yogananda, who brought all of these teachings to the West. Because in India there was a consciousness that, look, we have spirituality from thousands and thousands of years ago. We have spirituality, and it keeps on sprouting up in new ways here. There was no sense of needing to take that outside of India, but as 𝗚rī Yukteswar said, and as Yogananda said, that was his job. Train a disciple who will go to the West. And Lahiri blessed Yogananda as a tiny child and said to his mother, "Thy son will be a yogi. As a spiritual engine, he will bring many souls to God." So he gave us this legacy. He gave us this blessing of Kriya. He took the science of Kriya and he organized it into levels so that we could follow it, so that we could practice it. And it's not a complicated thing, but he had to structure it in some way. Otherwise, it's sort of hard to understand. Oh, you bring the energy in and you bring the energy up. Well, how? How do you do that? He helped to organize that. And especially, he gave us the blessing of, as Nirmala pointed out, the blessing of an example of how to live a householder life in the world that was spiritual. And he gave us balance of job, family, home, and spirituality. And that, friends, is a marvelous thing to take away from this. I often have thought, we'll be traveling tomorrow, and our group is heading back to America on Monday. And I've often thought, when we travel to a holy place like this is our real pilgrimage, right here in Swamiji's Moksha Kutir. I often think, and I want to say to people, take this place home with you in your luggage. Put it in your suitcase and bring it with you. Carry it in your heart, because there is grace and there's blessing here. And it comes from these masters. It didn't fall out of the sky and hit us on the head. It had to come from actual people. And those people gave a blessing to the next group. And that's what Kirtani will speak about in a few moments. And so let us take the blessings of Lahiri, that he gave us Kriya, that he gave us inspiration, that he helped to break down the barriers that say, no, my religion is the best one. No, my religion is the best one. No, you can't be, either or. He helped to break that down. Let's continue to feel spirituality is where religion becomes practical, and where we soften the edges and the barriers that say, no, it's only this and not that. Help us to find that source inside of ourselves. And for those who can't relate to any religion at all, that's not even important. The important thing is to find joy inside, to find that perfect fulfillment inside. He gave us that example. And so let us honor his blessing, honor his grace, and dive into the bliss of Kriya that he gave us to practice.
Page 27.
Nirmala e Dharmadas hanno dato una bellissima via di partenza for, oh, I was going to remember, and I forgot. Nirmala Dharmadas gave a wonderful way of entry into what was Lahiri Mahasaya's legacy. What did he leave us with? It's hard to miss what that was. But I wanted to start with an interesting story that I hadn't heard before. We know that Yogananda, that Lahiri met Babaji in the Himalayas, and it was his reawakening in his lifetime. But there was a moment that he had a contact with Babaji early in his life, and this is that story. So, Lahiri's mother and Lahiri, as a little boy, were completely engrossed in the worship of Lord Shiva in the temple. On hearing the sudden utterance of the word mother, the mother opened her eyes to see a very handsome, calm, renunciate monk in colored cloth with curled and matted hair standing near the door. At this unexpected sight, she trembled with fear and took the child in her lap. Seeing this, the monk assured her that there was no cause for fear, and thus assured, she stood up with reverence. Pointing to Lahiri Mahasaya, the monk said, "This child has been ordained by me to liberate the saints and householders, ever boiling in worldly fire with innumerable sufferings, woes, and distress," which we've heard about, by using the easiest and simplest techniques of self-realization. In future, this child, while still remaining in the mundane world, will be an ideal and highly honored soul, and will pave the way for others to God realization. Like a shadow, I will ever be watchful of him, and through him, my great dream will be brought to fulfillment. And that great dream was Kriya Yoga. And Lahiri Mahasaya's legacy was bringing Kriya Yoga from the ancient tradition of India into Dwapara Yuga, giving us here in our age the possibility of self-realization. It's something that we know that Lahiri was very open in who he would give Kriya to, because he had that blessing from Babaji to do so. And Dharmadas already talked about how it was not an easy thing because of his role in society that should have determined certain actions on his part. But as we know, an avatar is not governed by politics or society and is perfectly free to share in the way that he knows the people of the time need. And Lahiri he asked for that permission to give Kriya to all who were sincere in their spiritual life, because he knew how important having such a practice would be for our day and age. And we know, those of us who are practicing Kriya, those of us who are preparing for Kriya and doing those preparatory practices, we know how important those are for our ability to deal with what life brings to us. And again, we have a word from Lahiri himself saying to the devotees who then would come to him, meditate unceasingly that you may quickly behold yourself as the infinite essence, free from every form of misery. Cease being a prisoner of the body. Using the secret key of Kriya, learn to escape into spirit. And this is his legacy to us, that we have the key, which is also mentioned in the Festival of Light that we do every Sunday, the key to awakening that divine light and presence, the spirit within us. All of our avatar gurus, but Lahiri, because he was the beginning of giving Kriya to all of those who were ready for it, it was important for him to emphasize the fact that it wasn't just the mental, intellectual study of this teaching that was important, but the actual practice, which we hear in every meditation course that is taught here, the practice that will bring us the experience of our higher inner self. And so again, his words, he only is wise who devotes himself to realizing, not reading only, the ancient revelations. Solve all your problems through meditation. Exchange unprofitable religious speculations for actual God contact. Clear your mind of dogmatic theological debris. Let in the fresh healing waters of direct perception. Attune yourself to the active inner guidance. The divine voice has the answers to every dilemma of life. Though man's ingenuity for getting himself into trouble appears to be endless, the infinite Savior is no less resourceful. It's so encouraging for us to have these direct words. I saw so many of you nodding. We have this experience, and we have the inner experience to help us be able to confront all of our problems. And again, Lahiri says, because how many of us lament the fact that we were not living when Yogananda was in the body, and that we didn't have the guru to talk to actually be able to relate to in a physical form. And here he's talking to all of those, the ones he calls chelas, his spiritual children, who are far away and who don't have the opportunity to be with him every day. And again, very encouraging and supportive. He says, I will guide you to the cosmic home through your enlarging perceptions. And again, he's talking about the fact that it's not just through your reading or your study that you're going to be able to really receive the biggest blessings of what I'm giving you. It's from your own practice and your enlarging perceptions. He knows that this practice is going to expand our consciousness, is going to expand our hearts to be able to not just understand here, but know that divine presence within us. So this feeds in a little bit to what Dharmadas had said about the fact that in his time, spiritual organizations didn't really exist, and he was not really for spiritual organization. Our Swamiji talked a lot about organization is often the death of a movement. And so being an organization, meaning something that is structured more Kali Yuga, is not what he was trying to share with us. And this is more about him than his words, but Yogananda says about Lahiri, although the great master did not adopt the system of preaching through the modern medium of an organization or through the printing press, he knew that the power of his message would rise like a resistless flood, inundating by its own force the banks of human minds. You had the image, the flood of the truth of Kriya inundating and breaking through the barriers of the human mind. The changed, this is for us, the changed and purified lives of devotees were the simple guarantees of the deathless vitality of Kriya. The changed and purified lives of devotees, of us, were the simple guarantees of the deathless vitality of Kriya. His legacy was all of what I've just read to you, of his words, of his understanding of what was needed by the population in his time and in our time. But his legacy is ours also. And it's we who will keep the living legacy of Lahiri Mahasaya alive and continuing to change and transform the lives of others. Some of you are very new. Some of us in this room have been on the path for 50 years. And we can speak from experience of the change that comes from putting into practice the truths of these masters. Kriya Yoga was meant to arrive in the time that Babaji met Lahiri, to spread throughout the world, and not just to be given to those who were living in monasteries and were outwardly dedicating their lives. Living in a monastery doesn't naturally prepare you for Kriya. What prepares you is what you all have done with your practice of energy, having more and more energy, of bringing that energy within and offering it up, concentrating. All of those practices prepared us and are preparing you for being able to have this legacy of Lahiri Mahasaya, of Kriya Yoga, to transform your life. And because Lahiri also asked that he be given permission to give to others the possibility of sharing Kriya. And some of you will become sharers of the Kriya preparation and possibly even the Kriya technique. But more than that, you will share with everyone you know the light and the joy and the inner peace that come through practicing this legacy of Lahiri Mahasaya, Kriya Yoga. We are ever grateful for Babaji, for Lahiri, 𝗙𝗀𝗀𝗁𝗺, and Yogananda, and also Swamiji, who has brought us this legacy. And we will continue being channels for that legacy.
No birth, no death, no question mark. No birth, no death, no question mark. Father, mother, have I known? Father, mother, have I known? I am me, I am me. Blessed Spirit, I am me. I am me, I am me. Blessed Spirit, I am me. I am me, I am me. Blessed Spirit, I am me. I am me, I am me. Blessed Spirit, I am me. My no intellect, no ego feeling. My no intellect, no ego feeling. Kind of hurt, no medals and mine. Kind of hurt, no medals and mine. I am me, I am me. Blessed Spirit, I am me. I am me, I am me. Blessed Spirit, I am me. I am me, I am me. Blessed Spirit, I am me. I am me, I am me. Blessed Spirit, I am me. No birth, no death, no question mark. No birth, no death, no question mark. Father, mother, have I known? Father, mother, have I known? I am me, I am me. Blessed Spirit, I am me. I am me, I am me. Blessed Spirit, I am me. I am me, I am me. Blessed Spirit, I am me. I am me, I am me. Blessed Spirit, I am me. My no intellect, no ego feeling. My no intellect, no ego feeling. Sky of earth, no methods am I. Sky of earth, no methods am I. I am me, I am me. Blessed Spirit, I am me. I am me, I am me. Blessed Spirit, I am me. I am me, I am me. Blessed Spirit, I am me. I am me, I am me. Blessed Spirit, I am me. Non nasco, non muoio, eterno sono. Non nasco, non muoio, eterno sono. Padre e madre, io non ho. Padre e madre, io non ho. Sono lui, sempre libero nel cielo. 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 I am he, blessed Spirit, I am he. I am he, blessed Spirit, I am he. I am he, blessed Spirit, I am he. I am he, Blessed Spirit, I am. Sono Lui, sono Lui. Libero nel cielo. Sono Lui, sempre libero nel cielo. Non solo l'intelletto, la mente e il cuore. Non solo l'intelletto, la mente e il cuore. Nulla, nulla trattengo di me. Nulla, nulla trattengo di me. Sono Lui, sempre libero nel cielo. 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 Non nasco, non muoio, eterno sono. Non nasco, non muoio, eterno sono. Padre, madre, io non ho. Padre, madre, io non ho. Sono Lui, sempre libero nel cielo. 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 I am He, Blessed Spirit, I am He, I am He, I am He, Blessed Spirit, I am He, I am He, I am He, Blessed Spirit, I am He, I am He, I am He, Blessed Spirit, I am He. Sono Lui, sempre libero nel cielo. Sono Lui, sempre libero nel cielo. Sono Lui, sempre libero nel cielo. Sono Lui, sempre libero nel cielo.
Thank you for a wonderful inspiration of the importance of feeling that presence within, to make sure that we develop the fire to want to feel that presence within. And of course, that doesn't come without a constant practice of our spiritual techniques. We are coming right now to the last part of the evening, and this is the time where we have been open to receive the guidance that each talk has offered to us. I'm sure we can choose something to take back home with us and see where we can apply it. But right now, we are going to have a direct guidance from Lahiri Mahasaya. We are going to end this evening by, if you feel so, you are not forced to do it, but if you have a connection and an openness to receive guidance from Lahiri Mahasaya, just come to the altar and pranam to him and talk to him, offer anything to him in the language of your own heart, knowing that the omnipresence is everywhere, and the message and the messages can come through anything, anybody, everywhere. And this is what we want to magnetize right now. What's the message for me
personally that this evening, these great ones want for me to be aware of. And when you approach the altar, when you approach to Lahiri Mahasaya, open yourself completely with that humility that God is listening to your heart and that request to see what else we can do to keep moving closer to the light. So whenever you are ready, come to the altar and pick up one from these two baskets. These are words from Lahiri Mahasaya, words and advice he gave to his direct disciples. So when you come and you choose one, just hold it one moment in your hands when you go back to your seat. Just meditate and place yourself in a moment of even more receptivity. And then when you are ready, read that message and see how you can apply it when you go back home in your daily life. Perhaps for this month, you want to experience and experiment and explore how you can bring this into your daily life, as Lahiri Mahasaya did while he was a husband, a father, employee, a meditator. If he did it, we too can do it. So whenever you are ready, just come to the altar. You can come 2 at a time, 3 at a time, 4 at a time, 1 at a time, as you feel so. And then we are going to close the evening just like this. We then don't want to break the flow or the interiorization that you may go into. So we'll just do a chant and finish with the ceremony. When the song ends, you are invited to just stay and meditate, pray, be in silence for as long as you want. Or if you are ready to leave this temple, please do so quietly, silently. So those who want to stay back meditating, we support them in their attunement with Lahiri Mahasaya. Thank you.
Page 38. Page 38.
Page 38. Yeah. Yeah. lotus feet of thy Guru. Think in thy heart the lotus feet of thy Guru. If you want to cross the ocean of the illusion, if you want to cross the ocean of the illusion, shaming the white lotus in purity, shaming the white lotus in purity, beyond duality, Guru Ija Brahma, deliver us from the illusion. Guru Ija Brahma, deliver us from the illusion. Think in thy heart the lotus feet of thy Guru. Think in thy heart the lotus feet of thy Guru. If you want to cross the ocean of the illusion, if you want to cross the ocean of the illusion, shaming the white lotus in purity, shaming the white lotus in purity, beyond all duality, Guru image of Brahma, deliver us from the illusion. Guru image of Brahma, deliver us from the illusion. Think in thy heart of the lotus feet of thy Guru. Think in thy heart the lotus feet of thy Guru. If you want to cross the ocean of the illusion, if you want to cross the ocean of the illusion, shaming the white lotus in purity, shaming the white lotus in purity, beyond all duality, Guru image of Brahma, deliver us from the illusion. Guru image of Brahma, deliver us from the illusion. Pensato cuore, ai sacri piedi del tuo Guru. Pensato cuore, ai sacri piedi del tuo Guru. Se vuoi attraversare l'oceano dell'illusione, se vuoi attraversare l'oceano dell'illusione, più puro dell'oro bianco, più puro dell'oro bianco, oltre la qualità, Guru luce di Brahma, liberaci dall'illusione. Guru luce di Brahma,
se vuoi attraversare l'oceano dell'illusione, se vuoi attraversare l'oceano dell'illusione, più puro dell'otto bianco, più puro dell'otto bianco, oltre la dualità, Guru luce di Brahma, liberaci dall'illusione, Guru luce di Brahma, liberaci to cross the ocean of delusion. If you want to cross the ocean of delusion, shaming the white lotus and beauty, shaming the white lotus and beauty, beyond humanity. If you want to cross the ocean of delusion, if you want to cross the ocean of delusion, shaming the